Hello YouTube, this is Prosek, bringing you another Space Engineers video. Today I've got some new missile concepts, and hopefully the video quality is a bit better. I'm actually going to delete the ship. It's causing a lot of lag. I got a new recording software, dxtory, so that should improve the video quality. Anyways, I came up with some new missile designs with using the remote control from the latest update. There's a couple different ones. They all use the same propulsion unit. I'm calling it the Typhoon. It's this section from here, or from here back, or it's this right here. It's completely self-contained, a remote control unit, antenna, gyros, a battery with a couple of backup reactors, and then a connector back here to connect it to whatever you're firing it off of. They're meant to be fired out of silos because they're remote controlled. That's why it's on the back and not the top or side. And they use batteries, so you obviously would charge them at the station that you're flying whatever you're flying them out of. And then the backup reactors are just in case the batteries run out, you still have some sort of control. And the battery will only last fully charged, will only last about 23 seconds once you engage the main rear thrusters, I think is what it was when I tested it. But for the purposes of these videos, I'm going to install some reactors on the backs when I fly them out. That way I'm not incredibly slow. Anyways, I've got a couple different missile designs. This is the first, the high penetration missile. It's got the thrusting part, the propulsion segment back there, and then this entire front area here is it's filled with warheads. It's got a heavily armored nose cone so that it can withstand some fire from Gatling turrets that are trying to shoot it down. But it's not. This is not. I have some other missile designs that are built for going up against heavily armored ships. Or not heavily armored, heavily armed ships with a lot of Gatling turrets. This is not one of them. So you would use this either after you've taken care of the enemy's defenses, or if they don't have very many in the first place. So I'll just fire it off here, or yeah, that's probably easier. So I'll get it set up, paste it. Anyways, the way this works is, because these are meant to be fit in silos, I've decided to make them as compact as possible. So I have these arms folded back. Once you're out of the silo, you fold these arms forward, which I'll show you here. If I find the rotors, reverse them, see the arms fold forward like that, and those are both filled. I have one that's a little slower than the other. I have to fix that. Anyways, ignoring that, the one is they both they're supposed to come out at the same speed. I need to fix that. But these warheads will go off first. They do have some protection against Gatling fire, but they'll go off first before you hit your target, and then causing us a hole through the first layer of armor. And the whole point of this is that you're going up against a ship that has one layer of armor, and these go off, and then the main warhead body comes into the ship through the hole that these created, and exploding basically inside of the ship, causing maximum damage. So I'll hop in here. Now you would obviously be controlling this from a control seat, using the antenna that's in it, but I'm just going to remote control it using this. So I'll hop in here. What I'm actually going to do, rather than controlling it, and I also have cameras on here, I have two front and one back. The back is for docking. The two front ones are in case one gets shot off. But here you can see it. I'm actually going to, let's see, what do I want to, I have a couple different, let's see, I'm going to come up. this way, just so that I'm getting lined up well. I'm actually gonna fire this at the light armor and then the heavy armor. Yeah, I forgot about the lack of. That's something I need to fix here. Hold on. Where'd it go? Over here. I do need to add some reactors to the back. You'd have the batteries powering this, but I don't want to take the time to charge the batteries for this video. So these wouldn't actually be there if you were using this in a real situation. Anyways, rather than remote controlling it in, which you can do perfectly fine, I'm actually just going to fire the rear thrusters. That way I can get a good view of it impacting. So, turn the thrusters off, full override, and on. And away it goes. So we'll get a nice view of the front warheads impacting first. And you had a double impact there. And it hit the bottom, but that went through... That went through one, two, three, 4 layers of armor. Now, obviously, that's light armor, so it's not entirely accurate as what you might be going up against in the heavy armor, which I'm going to show you next. But it's unlike now. I only have 2 layers of heavy armor on these, just because if a ship, most ships that you're going to be coming up against aren't going to have more than 2 layers of heavy armor. That would be absurd. It would be the amount of they would be so unmaneuverable if they had more than 2 layers of heavy armor. Most ships would only have light armor. Anyways, I will actually I need to access this control, and I just like to aim it here at the heavy armor. Get right in the middle. I need to deploy the. Let me turn this one up here to 5. Confirm. And reverse the 2 thrusters, or sorry, not thrusters, rotors. So now they're turning at the same speed. And I'll actually fly this one in. So, oh wait, I didn't add. Oh, I did add the extra reactors to it. It's just extremely unmaneuverable without the battery. It's not doesn't have the energy that it normally would. But I'm going to fly this one in just to show you that it is possible. And there we go. Let's check out the damage. And it went straight through 2 layers of heavy armor. Would have damaged a 3rd. I don't think it would have gone through a 3rd though. So yeah, that's the my armor piercing torpedo. Now I got a couple others to show you here. This one is, let's see, which one do we go to next? We'll go to this one. This is much simpler. It's a high damage torpedo. It's just full of warheads. Not very practical, but cool nonetheless. Having trouble talking. But anyways, there's no prepping on this one. It's just, I'm actually just going to fire this one at the light armor, because we all know what something like this would do to a ship with this is a pretty basic torpedo. I don't want to spend too much time on it. It's just, you would use this torpedo. You could obviously use it in any situation, but it's not very well protected. It's only got 1 layer of armor on the front, although it is heavy armor. But it's more just to cause maximum damage. A good strategy would be to use the armor piercing torpedo like that, especially on a light armor ship where it's going to make a larger hole, and then fly this right through it and do maximum damage inside of the ship, because the most damage you are going to do is inside of the ship, rather than having detonation be outside. Now you could. I had the heavy armor on the front just because I didn't want the warheads exploding prematurely if you're flying in a ship that has Gatling turret defenses. However, if you put the front head with light armor, it will do a lot more damage because the warheads don't have to go through the heavy armor of the torpedo. Anyways, just some ideas for you there. Now the last two torpedoes are very similar. This one is specially designed. It's basically the penetration torpedo, but instead of the sidearms, it's got these 4 decoy ships that you deploy as you get close to your target. It's for going up against a ship that has extremely high defenses, so you can still get some damage in by deploying these smaller ships, which are decoys, so the enemy turrets will target them. And it's just you can I have them built to go faster than the main torpedo, so they'll fly ahead. The turrets will engage them, and then that way this can get almost to the target before the turrets actually start engaging the main torpedo, and by then it'll be too late because this is still a fairly heavily armored nose. But I'm not going to show you this one because I have one that's very similar, which is right here. But instead of having the decoys, it's got warheads. So it's a surface area damage ship. It does it doesn't have it doesn't penetrate through the armor as well. It just does damage to the surface of the ship. And this would be very effective for taking down the defenses of an enemy ship, as the turrets would be on the outside. So anyways, I will copy this. This would be another option would be to fire this, then either the high penetration torpedo or the high explosive torpedo, as this would help take down the enemy's turrets. Now this one, it is best to remote control. You can't really dumbfire this one as easily because you have to spin, or you have to you might have to slow the torpedo down itself to keep it behind the surface area weapons, and you need to deploy them as well, so you can't dumbfire this one. Anyways, let me add. Actually, I need to add reactors. So, yep, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Control. Grab a camera. Now there is one problem wherein, as you can see, you can't really aim this ship the way I have the camera set up. That's just because I have the standardized propulsion unit. But if you're building this, if you don't like not being able to see where you're going, you can should be about right. You can place the cameras elsewhere. So I'm going to throttle up, and when you're ready to fire, the way I have the action group set up, you hit 1 or 2 then 1. They missed a bit, and then the main torpedo hits. Now, you can also sorry about that, my sister's in here. You can also what was I gonna say? Oh, cause the torpedo to spin as it gets closer to the target, causing the warheads to fly out and just cover a wider surface area. The only problem with that is you can I was messing around with that concept earlier, and you can cause the warheads to catch on the merge blocks, and that can cause them to detonate on the own torpedo. which usually causes the torpedo to blow up. Now this did, as you can see, did not penetrate very deeply because it didn't have a very high yield. But if you had turrets on the outside, it would be fairly effective. So yeah, that's about it then. Thanks for watching. On the yeah. So I'm considering building a I have an idea for a grinder torpedo. But that's about it. I also I'd like to build a ship in the fairly near future that is a long-range missile attack ship that actually utilizes these, as well as the homing missiles that I showcased in a video a couple of videos ago. That's about it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.